Hello, I am Harada, an administrative scrivener. Today I would like to explain the benefits of applying for permanent residency. The first point is the application for permanent residency. Once you obtain permanent residency, you no longer have a residency expiration date. Typically, if you hold a work visa or a spouse visa, there are residency expiration dates of 1 year, 3 years, or at most 5 years. This means you will need to go to the Immigration Bureau every few years to apply for a renewal. By obtaining permanent residency, you will no longer have residency expiration dates, which eliminates that hassle. Additionally, even if unforeseen circumstances arise that prevent you from renewing your status, you can have peace of mind, which is another benefit. The second point is that there will be no work restrictions. For example, if you hold a work visa such as a technical expert, humanities specialist, or international business, or if you have a residency status for business management, you can only work within the limits of your designated residency status. This means that employees may find themselves suddenly restricted. Becoming a business owner by establishing a company, or conversely, leaving business management to return to being an employee cannot be done easily. You must apply for a change of residency status and wait for approval before making such changes. Therefore, obtaining permanent residency removes work restrictions, allowing for greater freedom in job changes, which I believe is a significant advantage. I believe that having a side job has become quite common recently. However, for foreigners on a work visa, there are significant hurdles to taking on side jobs. The ability to have a side job, as well as the option to limit work for childcare or to choose early retirement, can be seen as benefits. By obtaining permanent residency, one can choose their preferred working style and job, just like Japanese citizens. The third benefit is that starting a business becomes easier. Normally, foreign nationals who want to start a business in Japan and become a company president need to apply for a business management visa. However, to obtain a business management visa, there are various restrictions, such as the amount of capital and the need for an office. With permanent residency, you can establish a company and start a business in Japan without these restrictions, just like a Japanese national. This is one of the advantages of applying for permanent residency. That's right. You also have the option to start a business as a sole proprietor without establishing a company. Additionally, after establishing a company, if you apply for permanent residency or naturalization to obtain Japanese citizenship, the amount of paperwork and the conditions become significantly more complex, raising the hurdles. Therefore, if you are considering starting a business, it is recommended to apply for permanent residency first and obtain approval before launching your venture. The fourth benefit is that it becomes easier to secure loans from banks. If you are considering living in Japan long-term, many people think about obtaining a housing loan, or if it involves business, seeking financing for business management. However, if you are on a work visa or have residency with an expiration date, the loan approval process becomes very strict. However, if you have obtained permanent residency, it becomes easier to pass the loan screening at the bank, which is a common reason for applying for permanent residency. Many people come to consult because they want to do it quickly and obtain permission as soon as possible. The fifth point is that family members can live in Japan with peace of mind. Even if they are unable to apply for permanent residency together, if your family includes a spouse, they can obtain the residency status of a permanent resident spouse, and if they are children, they can acquire the status of a resident. With the previous family stay visa, it was not possible to work more than 28 hours a week, but now you will be able to seek employment without being restricted by job type or educational background. Then there are the children. After they graduate from school and become independent, they can continue to live in Japan. Being able to pursue the job they like is a significant advantage. The sixth point is the peace of mind in case of divorce. For those holding a spouse visa, if a divorce occurs, their current residency status may be lost, which could require a change of status or in some cases, returning to their home country. However, if one obtains permanent residency, they can live in Japan without worry even after a divorce. Even if there are no plans for divorce, only the Japanese spouse is assigned to work overseas. In cases where a spouse wants to continue living in Japan while the other is on a work assignment, or in the event of the spouse's passing, there is no need to worry about visa issues. It is wise to consider future possibilities, and I believe that applying for permanent residency early can provide peace of mind for both parties. Even for those who do not hold a status-based visa, like a spouse visa, there are benefits for those with activity-based visas, such as work visas. Even if you have a work visa and decide to quit your job, it is still acceptable. If there are changes in the activities related to your residency status, you won't need to change your residency status or return to your home country, which I believe also offers similar advantages. Finally, I believe that the ability to have long-term departures is also one of the benefits of obtaining permanent residency. It is essential to obtain a re-entry permit, but you can choose to live abroad for several years and then return to Japan in the future, even if you do not plan to live in Japan permanently, by paying attention to the expiration of the re-entry permit after obtaining permanent residency. You can maintain your permanent residency status and expand your future options. For those who plan to go overseas, from Japan in the future, I think it would be best to apply for permanent residency as soon as possible. What did you think? The benefits of applying for permanent residency? I believe there are many, but just because you are not currently having issues with your visa does not mean you shouldn't apply for permanent residency. I recommend applying for permanent residency early in preparation for future changes in lifestyle or circumstances. Thank you.